Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to get started on my oldest brother Corey's truck. This is a 2004 and a half Dodge Ram, and we are going to be putting a Fleece 10 mil CP3 pump on it. So we're going to go through the installation of it, show you guys how to change it out. We're going to take it for a drive, see if there's any noticeable gains. Something like a CP3, I don't really know if we're going to feel a power increase, like where you can actually, like you put some injectors in a truck, you know, you're going to feel it, you're going to feel you know, truck's making more power now, but with the CP3, it's more of a supporting thing to support like the injectors if you upgrade those. So I doubt we'll really feel anything, but we'll still take it for a drive. Hopefully idle's a little smoother. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what all is going to improve? But this truck has like almost 300,000 miles, and Corey's going to be going to a bigger injector soon, which we'll talk more about that with him whenever he gets here. So he was like, well, first I need to upgrade my CP3. So got a hold of the guys over at Fleece and got a Fleece 10 mil CP3 pump for this thing. So let's get him over here and let's get started on this. I do want to add, I did put the garage sales section up on the website. So I asked a couple of you guys, well, a couple of you guys commented back in the last video I put up about if we should start putting used parts on the website, dirtydiamonddiesel.com, and I did start that. So link is below, and then just go to the used parts section, and we're slowly going to be adding. The inventory will constantly change. Usually it's just, if there's something on there, it's only gonna be on there once unless it's like a really common item that we have a lot of. So yeah, if you guys would like, if you want to check out and see what we have, click that link below and then go to used parts section and you can see what all we got. A lot of good deals, guys, a lot of good parts. All right guys, Corey just got over here and we just ate some breakfast and kind of letting his truck cool off a little bit while we're eating. And we have the pump over here. So this is from Fleece. This is a 10 mil pump. So the main reason why Corey decided to do some fueling upgrades, for one, his injectors are getting kind of weak, and with the second gen swap on an 04 and a half truck, he noticed this thing does not really tow the best. So it's running what, the 467, 80, 83, 90, and the truck just really did not tow the best. It was really smoky. His EGTs were probably getting pretty hot, and the people that we talked to said more or less you need to just go with a little bit bigger injector, and he's going to upgrade the CP3 as well. So any of you guys that are unfamiliar to a common rail system, I know we do a lot of P-pump and VP44 stuff on here. We'll go ahead and talk a little bit about it. So like the CP3 pump on a common rail is basically just one high pressure pump. It doesn't do anything specific other than just make really high rail pressure, and it feeds this rail here in the back. So whenever you upgrade your injectors, it's going to drop the pressure in that rail, and that's where the upgraded CP3 comes in. So that's why we're doing this. And I think Corey said he's going to go with 100 over.
It's up in the air. It's up in the air, really. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do 100 horse or if I'm going to do maybe something more like 100% over.
Big stipulation that he's really running into is this is a 04 and a half truck. So this is like a weird half-year truck. So this has, it has like the throttle cable on it, which the 03s had.
It's like an early 04 and a half.
But it still has the wide bowl pistons.
Right.
So this has the pistons like the 05s do.
Yeah, it's still a 325 motor.
So he's kind of limited on his tuning. Like on a truck like this, you can't put EFI Live on it. And I mean, it'd be awesome if you could, but you just can't. I mean, you could probably swap a bunch of stuff over and somehow put EFI Live on it, but we just can't. So we were reaching out to the guys that are going to tune it, probably going to get it tuned over at Fire Punk. We just kind of reached out to them, and they said for what he's wanting to do, we're going to do 100 over injector, and the 10 mil will be
100 horse injector.
100 horsepower injector.
If that's where I want to stop.
Okay.
That's why I'm kind of been up in the air. I was thinking maybe 150 horse. That's like one step up.
Right. So, and guys, we already did a second gen swap on this. This is, well, it was originally a Smetting turbo, but he has switched turbo. So it's now running a Greg Turner turbo. Yep. Greg Turner turbo doing great. Spool's awesome. Yeah, this is the turbo that came off of Mason's truck that he was running before we went to the 472. We also did head studs on it and the Fleece coolant bypass. So this truck has a lot of good supporting mods. Also has a built transmission. I think it's billet input, stock, intermediate stock output. Man. With all of the billet hard parts. So it shifts good. I think he's got triple disc, valve body. Yeah, so this is a really good, solid build. It has basically all of your supporting mods. Once it gets the CP3 installed today and we do the injectors, this thing should have the capability to make around like 700 horse, 700, 800, but it's probably just gonna keep it turned down pretty low and just try to keep it a good tow pig. So I don't know, have you opened it and peeked at it yet?
I just made sure that it was in there.
I'm sure it's in there. So installation guidelines. This is basically just saying that you need to have clean fuel, and if you don't, then...
Which I did just change the fuel filters on it Wednesday.
Okay, I was gonna say I had filters here if you needed to. But this is basically just saying you need to have clean fuel in this, and even if you have contaminated fuel, you need to go as far as dropping the tank, because it will make the CP3 fail prematurely. So there's that. And you didn't have to send a core back on this, did you? They didn't require a core. See, I would almost thought that they would make you send a core in, but apparently not, so that's pretty cool. But it looks like they sent a koozie and a decal. Sent, this is installation instructions, a little QR codes. Pretty clean how people are doing that. Instead of paper instructions, just pull it up on your phone, or if you're working for a shop or something, you got a computer, tablet, you can just pull that up and then have it on your computer. So that's pretty nice, they're doing that. Little rubber line, this is probably, I don't know, what is this for?
I think it's for return.
For return. And then the pump, so well, here's this other line. This is from the rail to the pump?
Yeah, because it's a 6.7 base pump, so they come with that line to adapt it to a 5.9 rail.
Okay, so that makes sense there. And then you have the pump itself. So it's already got a FCA in there.
Which is nice. I thought that was pretty nice.
Yeah,
I already had that in there.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a good Bosch. Yeah, it's a Bosch. So I don't know. I think they probably just buy these pumps new and then they rebuild them, and then that's why you don't send the core in. I think you're always getting a brand new Bosch unit that they modify, as opposed to it being this is just a core off someone else's truck. I'm almost sure that that's how they do it, but I'm not 100% positive. And then it's got a new O-ring on it, and so basically, guys, the way that we'll have to change this out is there's 3 bolts that hold it on to the timing cover, and then there's a nut on the front side of it. So we'll have to take the nut off, the washer, and then the 3 bolts, as well as unplugging the FCA, and then the feed and return to the pump itself. And that's really it. I mean, there's not really a whole lot that goes into switching these out. So the main thing is just gonna be, you don't wanna drop that nut down in there, because if you do, then you're gonna have to get it out. You don't.
That makes for a really long day.
A nice safe way that you can do that, guys, is you can always just stick a magnet on the tip of this shaft right here, and then you can pull it off, and then it won't be able to fall down. You just slide it over the magnet, and you'll be able to catch it, because, I mean, it does happen to people, you know. You can make a mistake, you could drop that thing down that timing cover. And
I think if you drop the nut down there, that'd be a pretty big deal, but I think the odds of dropping a washer are probably pretty good.
But yeah, so... All right, guys, we're actually going to pull this thing in and go through the process of switching this thing out. Shouldn't be too long. I don't know, I guess we could probably try and get like some idle clips. I mean, it's just really, we're probably really not going to notice any major upgrades, because they still run his stock injector. Like, you're probably not going to feel this a lot, but it's going to have the capability to support a lot larger of an injector than what the stock CP3 is. So I hope that makes sense to you guys, but this isn't something that we're going to put it on and go drive and be like, wow, this is crazy how much better it drives. The rail pressure will probably be a little better, but does that sound right? Does that sound like I'm making sense?
Yeah, I mean, especially running Smarty Tunes is what I got on there right now, so, and I don't have it turned up very high, so I haven't noticed any rail drop. So I really don't think I'm going to see
maybe a little smoother idle, maybe a quicker startup.
Yeah.
But as far as overall horsepower performance, probably not really going to notice anything until we get the larger injector put in. And that video will be coming very soon as well, guys. So we're going to do an injector swap on this thing, and then probably take it to Fire Punk and get it tuned. And it's going to be running really freaking good after that. Like I said, it'll be capable to probably break that 23 spline input shaft you have. So you'll have to be careful with it.
We'll try not to, though.
Try not to. So yeah, guys. So we're going to get this thing pulled in here into the garage. Maybe throw a fan on it for a minute, just really get that engine cooled down, and start tearing this thing apart. Shouldn't be too long. I'm gonna set you guys on the time lapse, and we will get this thing swapped out. All right, guys, before we get started, 2 more things I want to throw in here real quick. You're going to need some type of puller to pull the gear off of the CP3, and then to get the gear nut off, it's a 27 mil socket, so you're going to need that as well. So make sure you have these two items before you start this job and you get it all torn apart and you can't get it done. And the second thing I was going to show you guys was we're going to be unhooking the fuel lines from the air dog. And this has an air dog and a sump. So basically it would siphon, if you unhook that fuel line up there, it would likely just continue to siphon fuel up because it's already primed all the way up there. So what I did is, this is the suction line to the air dog going to the sump, and we just clamped it off. So that way when we unhook that and we're working on it, it's not going to sit there and just leak fuel. And I guess there's one other thing I can technically show you guys, and that is that the feed to this pump is a 90-degree fitting, and the 6.7 base pump is a straight fitting. So be sure that you have a straight fitting. If you have like an air dog or a fast fuel system, an aftermarket fuel system, I'm sure you guys have a straight fitting. Otherwise it's going to look kind of goofy. You're going to have a big bend in it on the 6.7 pump, but luckily we have all that stuff ready to go. So I'll set you guys up on the time lapse and we are going to get started on this thing. Ready for it?
Yeah.
All right, here you go.
Trying to make over 500 horse. Here you go. That's more like it.
Did it just move?
Yeah. There's 75. There's 78.
Let's go. 78.5 pounds.
Hey,
Alright guys, the pump is all installed now. Got our gear torqued, radiator hose back on. I gotta move this clamp real quick, back up to where it goes. You wanna move that clamp real quick, Corey? And we'll top it off with coolant.
You were gonna do it.
Huh? Yeah, but it's your truck though.
Yeah, but you just told those guys you were gonna do it.
Okay, so maybe I'll do that part and we'll put some coolant in this thing. And we're actually, I took the line off of the air dog, and before we go to start this thing, we're gonna bump the key and let it prime, let all the, because there's now gonna be an air pocket. So we wanna get the air out of there, and then we will just have to start cranking on this thing. But we're gonna wrap up these last couple things real quick, and then we will start it up. About to fire up for the first time, the new Fleece 10 mil. Fleece Performance. Pretty quiet with a muffler. I know it probably sounds loud because we're in the shop and everything, but he does have a muffler on this thing. Just talking to the camera, don't worry about it. Up, we're gonna go take this thing for a drive. a big old wide load behind us. So quiet with the muffler. I kind of like it, yeah. Don't drop no rail. Never really did before. So like I said, guys, we're probably really not going to see, I mean, it's probably going to just feel the same driving it, but if we would have went to like a bigger injector first, and then it would have dropped rail, but we're actually doing this the right way. We just put the injectors in, and then it would have probably dropped rail, and then he could have put the CP3 on it, but at that point he'd have had to have it retuned if he'd have retuned it for the injectors first. So this is really the best way to go about it, but we'll obviously do a video on the injectors as well to kind of show you guys. But this thing runs pretty good right now. Just a little smoky with the trailer. Whenever I order those injectors, place in Anderson, they said they'd rewrap it for 150 bucks. Corey just put a rip in his steering wheel just now turning. He's pretty upset. Happens. 280,000 miles. Just got a rip. Not bad though, really. Interior of this thing's really clean. Don't even have a crack in the dash. But yeah, so I'd say overall pretty successful install. Easy to do. We were just kind of really screwing around the whole time, not really in a big hurry, but if you wanted to, I'd say you could probably pump one of these on in like 2 hours if you were just not doing a video and got in a big hurry. But we were just screwing off, and it took us, we're driving it. We started about 11:30 noon. It's 2 right now, so not too bad, but we were doing a video and not really in a big hurry. So all right guys, that is going to wrap up the end of this video. Putting the 10 mil on Corey's truck went pretty good. Didn't take very long. Pretty easy job. And yeah, so now we're ready for some injectors. So be sure you guys stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment down below if you guys enjoyed, if it helped you in any way or anything like that. Please leave a like as well. And yeah, check out the website, Dirty Diamond Diesel. Description below. Stickers, key tags, used parts, air dogs, exotic head studs. You guys name it, we got it. So yeah, that's going to wrap it up, and we'll see you guys on the next one.